guys, Ricky here, back with another Copic video. Today we're going to be looking at the Sketching Gray set from Copic. It includes 5 increasingly gray tones, so it doesn't reach black, so keep that in mind, and a 0.5 multi-liner pen. So let's go ahead and open up the pack. So this is, again, the Sketching Grays set, so it's neutral grays, so they're not cool or warm, they're just neutral. So first we have the black multi-liner pen. So I'll be comparing these with the Prismacolor alternatives that you can try. So you can see if this is worth picking up extras for if you're buying other than the pack. But these 6 packs from Copic are a great way to start building your marker collection. I'll be also using them with and without the Colorless Blender, so that's 0. So first on the list is going to be neutral gray, so NO. Then we have neutral gray N2, N4, N6, and N8. So they skip 2 each jump. So let's go ahead and start with neutral gray. So here is the brush tip, and then we have the chisel. Alright, and next is going to be number 2, sorry. We have brush tip, and then here's chisel, so pretty solid. Next we're going to move to N4, so brush tip, and then here's chisel. Next is going to be N6. So now we're getting to darker colors now. So here's the chisel. And then finally N8. So this almost could look black on camera. I have an HDR enabled camera, so if you have a HDR enabled screen, turn that on because you'll be able to kind of tell the difference, hopefully. So this line is black. This is a little bit lighter. It might be easier to tell once these start to dry, but they're drying pretty quickly. None of them are rubbing off on my fingers. So let's go ahead and start trying to blend these. So we're going to start off with N0, and then we can then move to N2. Alright, go back to N0, get the in-between again. Then we're going to go to N4. Back to N2. Now it's going to be N6. Back to N4. The in-between. So far we're getting a pretty awesome gradient. And we can finally finish off at N8 and fill in the middle with N6 again. So you can see a really nice fade there. You get quite a large range, and then this will be the 0.5 multi-liner pen. So now we can test the difference with the Colorless Blender. So this is without Blender, and now I'm going to do it with Blender. So we can go ahead and coat the surface with the Colorless Blender. Again, we'll start off with N0. So the Colorless Blender gets applied beforehand, and it makes it look a little bit like watercolor. Go back to the N0, in between. We'll move to N4. Get back to N2. I'm going to go to N6. Back to N4, in between again. I'm gonna apply a little bit more blender here because it's starting to dry. And then we have N8. And back to N6. So I'll zoom in so you guys can see. Hopefully there's a little bit of a difference. Here you can tell a little bit more of the paper grit. This is 60-pound paper right here. So not too heavy, but also not too light. You can see there is bleed. So you might want to test that with your paper. Obviously, different types of paper will lead to different amounts of bleed. But make sure you know what you're doing. So right here I have basically the Prismacolor set. So we'll start off with basically the chisel tip, so you can kind of see where we're kind of heading. So then next we have a brush. So this is also by Prismacolor. So pretty nice there. Here's their 0.05. So the thinnest line I have, 0.1. So if you're into line weights, you can see where this multi-liner pen would come in. So now I have the 0.5 by Prismacolor, which is there, and then here is the 0.5 by Copic. So honestly, I wouldn't be able to tell the difference. So either the Copic or the Prismacolor would work with these sets. And then here is 0.8. And so we can go ahead and try to test. I think Prismacolor are water-based. So let's go ahead and test out the 0.5. We'll go ahead and we'll use like an N4 and test it out. So here's Prismacolor 0.5, and then so say if we quickly go over it, it dried really quickly, so there's no bleed at all or rubbing. Well, of course there's probably bleed. It didn't bleed into this page, but it bleed to the back of this. So now if we try the Copic one, here's the Copic. I guess it's a little bit more, or I think I was just drawing a little bit faster. And it does rub a little bit. Nothing appears on my finger, but if you zoom in, you can see it rubs slightly. But I tried to do it at the same speed and same pace, so maybe there was a little bit of some error there, but they're pretty much the same. So there we go. That's basically the Copic neutral grays as well as the Colorless Blender test. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know if you would like to see any other sketching sets tested out. I'm trying to build up a Copic collection. In the next video, I'll be covering the Earth Tone Essentials or the Earth Essentials set, so stay tuned for that. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.